Hello, good evening, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, just let me know. Okay, we are going to. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Loki. Good evening, Mr. William. Good evening, Mr. Victor, Sister Queen, Sister Faith. Good evening, Mr. Edwin. Good evening, good evening, good evening to you all. I greet you. We are supposed to have this meeting today around 2 o'clock, but due to some other activities, I decided to shift it to this hour, and also appreciate your understanding. Though I wasn't able to reach everybody, but I think, some people, I was able to reach out to some people, and also thank you, I appreciate you for your understanding and patience. So we are here to answer some questions together. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Frank. You are welcome to this program. So we're going to do some quiz together. We will answer some questions together. So permit me to share my screen with you. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Buonasera a tutti. Buonasera, 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 buonasera. I can see you. So even if I can't mention the names of everybody, but believe me, I can see you, and I extend my greetings as well. So if you can see my screen, just let me know. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Frank Praga, good evening, I greet you. Don Vico, good evening, good evening. As a May blessing, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay, so like I said earlier, we are here to answer some questions together. So here we have one question before us, which I would like you to leave your response below before we go to the explanation. Please, if you cannot hear me, just let me know. But if you can hear me, that is fine. The question says, il segnale raffigurato è posto a 320 metri dal segnale dare precedenza. So, which means this is a sign that is placed 320 meters from the signal of give priority, sign. What do you think is the right answer to this question? Good evening, Sachi Gozie. Wow. You are welcome, sir. Congratulations once again. I can't stop congratulating you for the success of your exam. Congratulations. Okay, we are having Vero, we are having Faso, we are having Fast. So we are having good evening, Mr. Solomon. Okay, we are having Faso. Please leave your answers below. Or do you think is that's difficult? Okay, we have Vero, we have Faso, we have Faso, we have Faso, we have Faso. You see, one thing I want us to always keep in mind is this. Any question we answer here together is not supposed to be a problem to us on that exam day. So that is one thing that is very important. And that is why we should all try to, make sure we give our attention to every question that comes across your way, because this question on that day, if you're going to see it on your exam day, this is how it's going to be. No addition, no subtraction. So, for example, as usual, I'm not going to tell you whether it's vero or it's falso, but we are going to look into some factors together to enable us understand whether the question is vero or is falso. So, for example, you see, one thing I want us to know is this. I want us to understand the difference between these four signs. We have sign A, sign B, sign C, and sign D. The three of them, sometimes the way they place them in questions is confusing, you understand? But today we are going to, we are going to try in a way that, we break them down for our understanding so that we won't, continue to make mistake with them whenever we come across these signs in any of the questions. For example, this sign A is called dare precedenza, which is give priority. So in the presence of this sign A, you are to, slow down, watch your left, your right. If there is any occurrence of any vehicle, you stop for that vehicle to pass. You understand? While the sign B, in 320 meters before, they will give you this sign B in order to notify you or to give you a notice on time to let you know that 320 meters from that particular place where this sign is given, that you are going to meet this other sign A. That 320 meters from this place, you are going to meet sign A. You understand? So that is what we are having here. You see it? This vehicle here, at this spot, the owner of the road, because of the danger that is, or that is here, or because of the road regulation, because the owner of the road wants this vehicle to be the one to give priority at this particular junction. So in 320 meters before, the owner of the road will give this sign to this road user, telling him that, hey, Mr. Man, in 320 meters time, you are going to meet the sign A, which is dare precedenza. Let's go to the other one. The other one, sorry, that sign, that is what you are seeing here. And before this time, you see that one. And take note, at this particular place, you are not obliged to stop. You are only obliged to stop at the occurrence of any vehicle. So in this case, now when the vehicle is coming, you are obliged to stop for them to pass. But in the case that no vehicle is coming, you can engage the road without having issue. You understand? Please do not forget, if you like this video, just try to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and also, just try to do that, because that is one of the ways to also appreciate, to appreciate, or encourage me as well. Please, I will appreciate if you do that. Thank you. So, you see, in the presence of this sign, you are not obliged to stop, you understand? But at the occurrence of any vehicle, you are obliged to stop. Okay. The next one is this. You see, we have stop at 320 meters. So before this sign, I think this one was sign C. Before this sign C, they will give you this sign D, to let you know that in 320 meters time, sorry, in 320 meters distance from here, you are going to stop. Whether there is any vehicle coming or not, I think, my picture is, is blocking the sign. Sorry about that, because I think there is nothing I can do about that, but you understand the sign that I'm saying or I'm talking about. That is sign D that we are having there, which is the stop. Okay. So at this place, you are obliged to stop. Whether in the occurrence of any vehicle or not, you are obliged to stop. So now going back to the question, because the sign is what you are seeing here or what we have here, you understand? You see, you have stop. And remember, this sign, they always place this sign in a place where visibility is scarce, where it is very dangerous for you to engage the intersection without having a good observation. You understand? So that is what you are having here. Now, let's go back to our question, which says, il segnale raffigurato è posto a 320 metri dal segnale dare precedenza. No, it's not true. Because we have seen it, the one that is placed before segnale dare precedenza is the other one, which is the sign B, you understand? Sign B is the one that is placed before dare precedenza, you understand? Not the sign D, you understand? So sign B is the one that is placed before sign A, while sign D is the one that is placed before sign C. So the answer is not true, is falso, because this is not the sign that is placed before segnale dare precedenza. This one is the one that is placed before stop. So let us proceed to the next question, which is question number 2. Remember, I tell you, do not allow any question we answered here to be a problem or to give you, stress on your exam day. So that is why we are doing all these things together, you understand? Always make sure you understand them very well. You can also ask your question if some things are not clear to you. You can ask your question, and also you can leave your question below. You can also send voice message for those that are having my number. So that is it. So the number 2 question said, il segnale raffigurato obbliga a svoltare subito a destra, which is according to the signal that you must immediately turn right. So let's know what your answer is, or what your answers are. We are having falso. It seems we are familiar with this question. So okay, we're having falso. Okay. Well, however, you see this sign here is called preavviso di svolta a destra, or preavviso di svoltare a destra. So it's a sign, taken under the topic of segnale di obbligo. So the sign, what is this sign all about? For the fact that at this intersection, the owner of the road don't want you to either turn left or continue straight. He wants you to, turn left, but he must have to notify you. He must have to give you the notice on time. Therefore, what the owner of the road has to do is to place this sign before to notify you that, at the next junction, you are obliged to turn right. So it is not true that you immediately have to turn right in the presence of that sign, because the sign that obliges you to immediately turn right is what we are having here. You can see it here. The arrow is pointed towards it. So this is the sign that obliges you to immediately turn right, you understand? And not the other one. So that is why we can boldly say that the answer is FASO. So the answer to this number 2 is FASO. Let's look into number 3. Thank you for your response. Thank you. I can see FASO. Okay. So for those of us who got it wrong, please just try to make sure you understand why you get it wrong, so that next time it won't repeat itself, because the problem is not getting it wrong here. The problem is getting it wrong on the exam day. So if you can get it wrong here and get it right on the exam day, that would be perfect. So number 3 says, la striscia di guida in figura debbono essere lasciate alla sinistra del veicolo quando si svolta a sinistra. So what is our response? That the driving lines at the middle of this intersection must be, the driving lines at this intersection must be left at the left side part of the vehicle while turning left. So I'll leave your answers below. Please, if you are telling me FASO, I don't know if you are referring to number 2, number 3, number 1, or any number, just like that. So if you can be specific, I would really appreciate that one. So Sister Lovett said FASO. Sachigoze said FASO. Mr. Nosa said FASO. Mr. Emmett said Vero. Okay, don't worry, we are going to, okay, I can see you. We have Vero. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. So, you see, these are driving lines that are given to us in order to, to direct us on how to turn left in this kind of intersection, which is the lines that they are referring to. They are these lines that the arrows are pointed to. You understand? This line here, let me try to, this line is referring to this one. This line is referring to somebody that is in this lane. This line is referring to somebody that is in this lane. This line is referring to somebody that is in this lane. So you can see it the way, the way they are. So, which means that, you see the way okay, you see the way I connected them, you understand? This is how they which means that if if I'm here, a car is here, a car is here, a car is here, a car is here. So all these cars, if they are turning left, take note, not right. If they are turning left, this is the line referring to. All these lines, they need to keep the lines at their right, at their left side of the vehicle. Keeping the lines at their left side of the vehicle, the middle of the junction must be kept at the right part of the vehicle. Therefore, let's call this vehicle A. I think this color is not sharp. Vehicle A, vehicle B, vehicle C, and vehicle D. So if vehicle A is going to, cross this junction, vehicle A must make sure, or the driver of vehicle A must make sure he placed himself in this manner, having the left lines at his left side and the middle of the junction at his right side. This will enable vehicle A not to go on one way, you understand? If you want to, occupy this lane, he can occupy this lane. If you want to occupy the other one, he can occupy the other one, you understand? So that is what this line or these lines are made for. In other words, we have something like this. You see it? Now, let's assume that this is still our vehicle A. You see now, the middle of the junction is here. So vehicle A now, crossing the junction, have to leave the middle of the junction at his right hand and the lines that they are referring to at his left hand. You understand? This will enable him, or enable the driver of the vehicle not to, go, on one way. You understand? So take note, the answer is zero. You understand? For those of us who responded fast, so it's not a problem. But what I want you to do is this: understand why you get it wrong, so that on your day of exam, because the most important thing is your day of exam, so that on your day of exam you can be able to get it right. And also after the day of your exam, you can also be a good road user. So that your way of driving is not going to be a kind of, a public danger. You understand? That is why you must understand what all these things are referring to, what they are saying, how they work, all those kind of things. That is why it's very good to have a good knowledge of all these things. So take note, for every one of us who got this one wrong, please take note of it. Is zero. All these lines, you need to leave them by your left side of the vehicle, and also you leave the middle of the junction by your right side. You understand? So le strisce di guida in figura debbono essere lasciate alla sinistra. Remember, destra e sinistra debbono essere lasciate alla sinistra del veicolo quando si svolta a sinistra. So take note, the answer is zero. Don't forget that you can ask question if there is something you don't understand. You are free to ask question. Like I said, those who have my number, you can also leave your voice message if you want to ask the question through voice message. So that is that one. And don't forget to share this video. Please like it and also share it with your friends. Thank you as you do that. Then number 4 question said, fuori dai centri abitati di notte, quando mancano o sono insufficienti le luci posteriori di posizione o di emergenza, è consigliabile presegnalare il veicolo fermo sulla carreggiata con il segnale triangolo mobile di pericolo. That is outside inhabited area at night when there is insufficient light, backlight of your vehicle and or the emergency light of your vehicle, it is advisable to signal that vehicle stopped at the middle of the carriageway with a triangle sign, with the danger triangle sign. So what is your answer to number 4? Vero or falso? What is your answer? Okay, we are having number 4, Vero. Those of, as in every one of us, I want us to just observe some things in all these questions that we are answering today. Just observe some things. I pray I remember at the end of the, the meeting to tell us what I wanted us to observe or what I am asking us to observe. So you just try to do that without me, telling you what you observe. You understand? At the end of the meeting, I will try to remember. So, okay. So we're still having some questions because I really want to see our response before I proceed. Okay, very good. I think the questions are, there. Okay. Now, what the question is saying is that at night, when your car is stopped at the middle of the carriageway, it can be some part of your car. It can be the whole part of your car. And there is no sufficient light. That is, it is advisable to signal your car or your vehicle with this triangular mobile di pericolo, this danger warning sign. Do you know why the answer is falso? I know some people will say, how come it's falso? Yes, the answer is falso. How comes is falso? And that is why I will, advise you to always concentrate, while answering some questions. There are things that, because quiz, this is one of the words they always use to deceive people. There are things that you are obliged to do. Anything that you are obliged to do is no longer advisable, because this thing, it is not advisable. It is obligatory. You are obliged to make sure any car that is, or any vehicle that is stopped at the middle of the carriageway, where there is insufficient, light, you are obliged to signal that vehicle with a mobile triangle sign or the danger warning sign. So, Mr. Friday, you're saying, and even Sister Faith, why are you laughing? Okay, very good. That is because it's like there's something take you unaware, right? Very good. The most important thing is that we know it now. You understand? So this is not only this sign. This is not the only question where they do things like this. You understand? Anytime you are answering a question that is carrying, for example, segnale di obbligo. You understand? Segnale di obbligo, mostly segnale di obbligo. If you see any sign of a conciliabile, look at where the problem is. look at where the problem is. This is where the problem is. Conciliably. That is, it is advisable. No, it is not advisable. You are obliged to do it because something that you are obliged to do, you don't, because when it's said it conciliably, this is where the problem is. When it's conciliably, you can say, let me do it, or maybe I can just leave it. But when you are obliged to do it, you have no excuse not to do it. So placing that danger warning sign is an obligation for you to do. It is not something you would like to do or not. So it's not advisable. It is obligatory that you must signal that car that is stopped at the middle of the carriageway where there is insufficient light, whether inside or outside inhabited area. So the answer is FASO. You understand? Take note of this one, and so that, you know, like I said, so that on exam day, you will not, you will not face the same, problem. So, number 5, it said, il segnale raffigurato obbliga a rallentare per essere pronti a fermarsi in caso di segnalazioni da parte degli agenti. That is, the sign referred to oblige us to slow down and, be ready to stop in case the police or the traffic, in case the police or the traffic agent orders us to stop. So, sorry, not the traffic agent, the police, in case the police orders us to stop. So leave your answers. Mr. Frank said Vero, Sister Edith said Vero, Mr. Victor said Vero, Mr. Richard said Vero, Sister Quinn said Vero, Mr. William said Vero, Mr. Ode said Faso, Mr. Chigozie said Faso, Mr. Adejo said Vero, Sister Faith said Vero, Sister Fede said Faso, Sister Yvier said Faso, Mr. P said Faso, Sister Happy said Faso, Sister Lovett said Faso, and Babadon said Vero, and Sister Essie said Faso. Okay. This question is, all these questions, they make me laugh because why I'm laughing is because them be wayo question, you understand? They are very, na Maradona question. But however, we are here to dissolve them, you understand? That is why we are here together. So let's, see what this question is. This question, this sign, this is the sign that, these people, like the police people, the Carabinieri, Guardia di Finanza, Vigili, or whatsoever of them, whenever they place this sign, they place it to a roadblock, you understand? Mr. Friday is saying I don't, why would you forget, Mr. Friday? Don't forget to, because you've passed your exam, but that does not mean that, you also need them to drive, you understand, to put in practice. Very good. So this is a sign that these people used in a place where there is roadblock. So they will repeat it again. Like this one we are having now is the repetition of this sign, you understand? Because you have it before. Now, why is the question FASO? Because the correct answer is FASO, or the answer is FASO. Why is it FASO? It is FASO because in the presence of this sign, act policier, you are obliged to stop, even when the police agent is not asking you to stop. So you are obliged to stop. So they must not raise this their baton. They must not raise this their paletta to stop you before you know that you have to stop. So it's not something that you need to be ready. In case they stop you, you stop. So in case they don't stop you, no, this is a roadblock. You have to stop. Somebody will want to ask, how can I just stop? What if they don't? If they don't want to control me? They don't want to check me. If they don't want to check you, if they don't want to control you, they will ask you to leave. You understand? But you are obliged to stop. So take note. The question says, "Il segnale raffigurato obbliga a rallentare." It obliges you to slow down, per essere pronti, that is to be ready to stop in case of the signal from the police agent. No, it is not true, because you are obliged to stop whether they signal you or they don't signal you. You understand? So it's a roadblock. Take note of that one. The answer is falso. Number 6. Se la patente di categoria B abilita a condurre solo autovettura con al massimo 9 posti compreso il conducente. That is the driving license B. The driving license B allows you to drive only cars that can be able to carry passengers up to 9 passengers, including the driver. So what is our response? We have we're in number 6. Okay, Mr. Friday said number 6. Falso. Sister Amaka said number 6. Vero. Mr. Frank Praga says it's Vero. Sister Ivy says it's falso. Mr. Chigoze said 6 falso. Mr. Oyegun said 6 falso. Your falso is 1, 2, 3, 4. How many falso? We're having many falso, many falso, many falso, many falso. So okay, let's see your response. Falso, 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 falso. Sister Lovett Edda said falso. Mr. Peace said falso. Sister Queen said falso. Why is everybody saying falso? Okay, Sister Mr. Daniel said Vero, and we have Happy Widdy said falso. Mr. Lucky Best said Vero. Mr. Prince said Vero. Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you is Vero or falso, but let's go and see why it could be falso, why it could be Vero, so that we can always take the answer to our, satisfaction. Because without, seeing all those things, we always have reason to doubt. But for example, this license B, how many, type of vehicles can this license permit you to drive? You can drive autovettura, which is to the maximum number of 9 passengers, including the driver. You can also use it to drive this. I don't know if this thing is showing because. Okay, yes, we can see it. This sgombraneve fino a 3,5 tonnellate. So you can also use it to drive this auto caravan. You can also use it to drive autocarro fino a 3,5 tonnellate. You can also use it to drive macchine agricole. You can use it to drive all those vehicles that I think Patente B one and Patente A one, all those ciclomotore, motorcycle, and all those things. There are so many other vehicles that you can use this license to drive. So it is not only one. And also, this is also the reason why so many of us, because I've seen situations whereby some people, maybe you write your exam, the exam is not, maybe it didn't go the way you expected it to be. You just a kind of give up. No, don't give up, you understand? Because it's not true that everybody that is driving out there passed their exam once. You understand? You need it, not me, not the person that is giving it to you. You understand? You are the one who need it. So if you write your exam, maybe it didn't go well, please, I encourage you to try again. Don't care whether people are laughing, this person don't write this time, all those kind of things. That's not your concern. You can write it as many times as you want. As long as the government is not restricting you from writing it, keep writing it until you pass the exam. Because so many of us also, we are complaining of maybe we might not have a good job, or maybe we are searching for a job, those kind of things. Bear it in mind that if you are able to get this license, for example, this autocarro fino a 3,5 tonnellate, you can drive, also apply as a driver in companies where they are, into transportation, so you can drive this one, you can drive bus, and also, all this macchine agricole, you understand? There are so many other, things, vehicles that this license can drive. So obtaining this Patente B is also a kind of, how do I say it, having a kind of something that will qualify you for another job if you want to change a job, you understand? So please take it serious. Do not allow anybody, whatsoever anybody is saying, yes, is their business. The day, you have your license at your hand, that is the day you are supposed to give up and say, okay, now I'm having the license, let me look for what to do with it, you understand? So please, if you have written your exam and there's something that come out well, keep on, trying. One day, God will surely, look into your file, and also you will have a good reason to smile. So that is it. The answer is FASO, because it's not only, autovettura with a maximum of nine passengers that you can, drive, you understand? Nine passengers with, including the driver, you understand? So the answer is FASO, not VERO. Please take note of this so that on your exam day, you don't, go there having issue with this number 6 question. So let's proceed to this number 7, which says, il segnale raffigurato deve essere rispettato solo dai conducenti di veicoli adibiti al trasporto di cose. That is, this sign referred to here, or this sign represented here, must be respected only by others drivers driving this type of vehicle that is, that is used to transport only goods. So what is your answer? Or what are your answers? Okay, we are having FASO, we are having Mr. Solomon Vero, we are having Mr. Mary Wodu Vero. No, this is number 7. This is number 7. Okay, number 7, I think Sister Amaka said FASO. Sister Ivie said FASO. Mr. Aisha said FASO. Mr. Monde said FASO. Sister Lovett said FASO. Mr. Victor said FASO. Sister Queen said FASO. Mr. Locke said Faso, Mr. Richard said Faso, Sister Edith said Faso, Sister Vincent, Abigail said Faso, Mr. Yegun said Faso, and Mr. Amos said Faso. With B said Vero, Don Vico said Faso, Sister Faith said Faso, Mr. Frank said Faso, Sister Dejoke said Faso, Mr. Williams said Faso. So we're having Faso. Okay, we have Babadon Osad said Vero. Okay, somebody said good evening, I greet you too, and also our Italian priest said Faso. Okay. You see, why some people made mistake with this question is because of this thing. There is a kind of confusion between these two signs. These two signs here, we're having sign A and sign B. Take note, the sign B is referring to vehicles carrying goods. So in the presence of this, there are more than 3.5 tons. In the presence of this sign B, vehicles that are carrying human beings, they don't have to look into this sign. But if you look at the sign A is talking about the length of vehicle, which means that any vehicle that is, this one is the one of sign A. For example, you see this kind of a vehicle from that is carrying load from 3.5 tons and above, they look into this sign. Buses don't look into this sign, you understand? Auto caravan, they don't look into this sign. But this one is talking about the length of vehicle. Therefore, whether all this type of auto trainer, these buses, this car that is towing this caravan, and this what is it called, this autosnodato, they have to respect this sign. If their length exceed this 10 meters, that means they can't enter this particular road. It's a kind of divieto di accesso, which is no entrance for them. You understand? So it is not true that this sign has to be respected only by others vehicles that are used to transport goods. So that is why the answer is FASO. Please remember, if you have questions, do not hesitate to leave your questions below so that we also treat them together. So let's look into number 8, which I think is our which should be our last question of today before we call it good night. It said, il segnale raffigurato è posto dietro ai veicoli per indicarne la nazionalità. So these signs, they are placed at the back of the vehicles to indicate the nationality of that vehicle. So leave your answers below. Let us understand what you think towards this answer, this question. Okay, Mr. Locke said number 8, FASO. Mr. Victor said number 8, FASO. Mr. Here we said number 8, Vero. Mr. Amos said number 8, FASO. Mr. P said number 8, FASO. Sister Edith said number 8, FASO. Sister Ije said 8, FASO. Mr. Monde said 8, Vero. Mr. Iyayi said 8, FASO. Sister Quinn said 8, FASO. Mr. Wiz B said 8, FASO. Mr. Yegun said 8, FASO. I think Aisha said 8, FASO. Mr. Vincent said 8, FASO. Mr. Frank said 8, FASO. So Faso. So I can't be reading all of them, but I see your response. Okay, which is good, because this sign is not placed at the end, at the back of vehicle. You understand? This is a sign placed to let you know that in 1 kilometer's time, which should be 1,000 meters time, that you will enter into the territory of France. And remember, this is the sign of the European community. So this one is like letting you know that in 1 kilometer's time you enter into this the territory of this country, which is part of the European Union. So the answer is Faso is not true. I don't know if we have any question, because I'm not seeing any question here. It's like everything is clear, but if not, please do not hesitate to leave your questions at the comment section also, and please do not forget to make sure you like this video, share it with your friends. I appreciate you for your time. For those of us that are on our Zoom, on our Zoom meeting, don't forget that we are meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock, not 7:30. So I appreciate your time. I want to say a wonderful evening to every one of you. Thank you for your time, because we are supposed to meet today at 2 o'clock or by 2 o'clock, but due to, the time was not that free for me, so I decided to shift it to this hour, and also you also understand me, which I really appreciate. So the thing I asked us to observe, among these questions that we just answered is this. Wow. You see, all the questions, if you take notes, they are all Faso, apart from one question. So these are questions that, that are carrying the highest percent of errors, you understand? So that is why I ask us to always, thank you, Mr. Victor. I appreciate you too. So that is why I ask us to, make sure we observe this question very well, because they have something in common. So if you watch on your exam day, some of those questions that are, very challenging, they are, let me say, high number of them, they are Faso, you understand? Sometimes, because they try to, they try to, thank you, Sister Fede, for sending me, I think that is €5 there. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. So that is what they do. They bring these questions out. They make them look very, and so many of them, they are like this, you understand? So please take note of this. The highest number of questions that people fail on their exam day, they are mainly Faso. So I just want you to take note of this. I'm not telling you that every question, is Faso, but these are questions that are carrying the highest pace. Some of them, they are 60%, some of them, they are 70%, some of them, they are 40%, just like that. You understand? So that people fail on their exam day. So that is that one. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.